Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts. And I'm excited to kick off Season 2 of our podcast series in partnership with Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. It's called We Are REC. Every week we'll release a new episode talking to different people from REC about a host of different topics. We'll get tips for saving money on your electric bill. We'll talk about renewable energy and the impact it can have in our communities. We'll get some behind-the-scenes info about what happens when the power goes out in a storm. Don't miss out on information about community grants, scholarships, REC-hosted events, and more. Get every single episode on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or on Spotify. Just do a quick search for We Are REC. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is The Valley Business Today as you are listening to the show. We, however, have pre-recorded our conversation over Zoom on a Tuesday afternoon, and it is the Winchester Frederick Clark version of The Valley Business Today because Cynthia Schneider is on the Zoom screen with me from the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. And Cynthia, we spent a little bit of time talking before we started for the radio show, and I was so sad to see that cast, but you were probably the happiest person with a cast on your arm that I have seen in a very long time.
Well, that's because I found out today I don't have to have surgery, and it did. It just makes me really happy. It's changed my whole perspective. And isn't perspective about all it's about today, right?
Well, it's pretty much all we all have anymore. So I think it's even better that that's what we're going to be talking about today. We've got a couple of people that are joining us on the Zoom screen. We're going to be talking about the Workforce Development Committee of the Chamber. Last month, Charles was here and we were talking about the Public Policy Committee. And these committees are member-led. I mean, they're a big part of what the Chamber not only offers members, but uses those members to be able to put their strategic plan in place, isn't it?
Correct. I look at our committees like this as the eyes and the ears and the heart and the soul of what we do. This is where our members bring their expertise for their profession or their industry to us, help keep us informed of what is needed, keep us on the pulse of our membership, and then in turn, help us to give back out to the membership what it is they're looking for. And that's how this committee has really developed in particularly seeing how we can, on boots on the ground, help the workforce develop through education.
Joining us, I mentioned a second ago on the Zoom screen, we've got Dr. Kathy Seal. She's the Director of Curriculum and Instruction for Clark County Public Schools. Maddie Fuller is also on the screen with us. She is a recent graduate from Clark County Public Schools. So, Kathy, let me ask you first about what the committee does as a whole. What is the role of Workforce Development Committee in the Chamber? What do you guys do?
Well, the great part about this committee is it provides the opportunity for individuals from the workforce and educators to sit at the table and, as Cynthia mentioned, how we can partner with each other to better prepare students to be life ready and college and career ready. You know, our superintendents in each of our divisions in Winchester, Frederick, and Clark have repeatedly stated that regardless of a student's post-secondary career path, we want them all to be able to go to work someday and to be successful and to be able to support themselves and their family or whatever they choose as their life's next steps. So that's really what our job and mission is with this committee. Where can we branch with the local businesses and industries to provide opportunities for students to experience careers prior to graduation and have a much more sound determination of what they think they might be interested in pursuing as next steps, and equally important, what they're not interested in pursuing as next steps.
Do you find as an educator that committees like this really do help you kind of bring those two things together?
This committee is essential. It brings to the table direct needs from business and industry. We find out, about specific professions that are in demand. We find out about particular areas of our curriculum that we need to focus on more heavily for our students to be successful when they leave our doors. We again hear frequently the importance of soft skills. And oftentimes this committee will provide opportunities that might not be under the category of part-time employment. And oftentimes that's the case. So we find opportunities for students to come in and maybe do a day of job shadowing or a week or several week internship. Again, just to get some experience of what is real life in this particular profession or career. And I find that oftentimes businesses think they cannot participate or help us in this endeavor if they don't have part-time jobs available for our students. And that is definitely not the case. So we want folks to realize there is a wide gamut of work-based learning experiences.
Are they typically in a particular industry, or are you finding healthcare, manufacturing, that it's across the board that you can serve a student in almost any career choice?
You can serve a student in almost any career choice. We have students, of course, participating locally in the health and medical field. We've recently partnered with Lord Fairfax Community College because of the need with the manufacturing industry. We're now offering an industrial maintenance technology academy so that students will have some of the coursework and certifications necessary to be successful upon graduation. Again, though, the gamut of occupations and interest among our students is very extensive, and that's some of the fun legwork that we get to do. Once they tell us what they're interested in, then we get to use our resources locally to see where we can provide a partnership opportunity.
It's really cool because I remember when I was in high school, and we're not going to get into, how many eons ago that was, but there weren't a lot of options. We had, I'm a Frederick County graduate, so we had Dow J. Howard, and you could choose from like auto mechanics or shop class was pretty much the only options. I can't imagine how much more access kids have to information now than they did 20 or 30 years ago.
Right. And just as an example, I mean, some of the courses that our students participate in at the secondary level where we're looking for these type of work-based learning placements, we have sports medicine, we have the nursing program, we have a variety of engineering, we have the trade and industrial such as small engine and carpentry, we have a variety of ag, and again, ag in the traditional sense of students who have locally grown up on a farm or would like to continue with the farming business, but then ag also with the very scientific realm of hydroponics and other, very STEM-oriented applications. So it's a really neat experience to help kids develop their career interest, their portfolio, and prepare for the next step.
Is it very difficult to try and tailor some of the curriculum to some of these different industries? Because I know way back in the day, what was in the book is what you learned, but that doesn't seem to be the case in today's educational system.
Right. It's sometimes a daunting task. There is the core competencies, similar to the academic content, that foundational knowledge that students need to have to be able to walk through the door and have somewhat background knowledge related to the field. But then we're also continuing to hear, and I know we will always hear, soft skills are equally important. We want the kids who can come up and be ready to work on time, have the cell phone put away, be able to interact appropriately in writing and orally with the customer. So we're focusing on both of those avenues. And then again, the great thing about this partnership is we get to hear firsthand from the employer, this might not be an area that you're focusing on, but this is where we need you to focus. This is an area where we need you to enhance the curriculum and bring some expertise to our future employees.
Today, we're going to get to hear firsthand the flip side of that story. Maddie, you're a good example. Kathy was saying earlier before we started recording for the radio show that you're a perfect example of this work-based learning. Tell me, when did you graduate from Clark County High School, and what are you doing these days?
I graduated May this year, and I am currently working full-time at Winchester Medical Center and going to school at Lord Fairfax Community College to start.
That made Cynthia very happy.
Makes me happy too.
So what are you doing at Winchester Medical Center? What kind of a job do you have there?
So my official title is an emergency department technician. I am a observation unit employee, but I float down to the ER sometimes, but I mostly work on the observation unit.
It sounds like a really cool job. Observation is one of my favorite things to do, but probably not in the same way that you mean. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Maddie, can you walk me through how you ended up where you are and what role high school played, and if you thought this is where you would be at this stage just a few short months after graduation? Can we talk all about your story when we come back?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to chat more for the Valley Business Today with the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Cynthia Schneider is on the Zoom screen with me, along with Dr. Kathy Seal. She is the Director of Curriculum and Instruction from Clark County Public Schools. Maddie's going to tell us her story when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Do you know anyone who is struggling with financial hardships because of coronavirus? Our new webinar called Coping with the Money Crunch can help. We'll talk about immediate options to consider, revising or creating a spending plan, and lots of community resources. Then we'll cover how to narrow your priorities, contact creditors, and avoid scams and risky loans. The webinar is free, and you can either join by phone or through Zoom on a smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can find out more by visiting the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program on Facebook or calling Karen Poff at 540-635-4549. Let me show you how to make your own plan or help someone you care about get through the crisis. Call 635-4549 or visit at NSV Financial Education on Facebook today.
Welcome back to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is the Valley Business Today. As you are listening to the show on a Wednesday afternoon, we, however, have pre-recorded it on a Tuesday afternoon in order to have a conversation with Cynthia Schneider. She is the president of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Joining us on the Zoom screen is Dr. Kathy Seal. She is the Director of Curriculum and Instruction at Clark County Public Schools, along with Maddie Fuller. She is a recent graduate of Clark County Public Schools and part of the work-based learning program there. Kathy, what does that program look like at Clark County Public Schools? How early can kids get involved in it? And does it really put them in the businesses or in the industries that they want to be in?
So we are very blessed at Clark County High School. We have a full work-based learning coordinator, as well as a career coach that we fund financially in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. So students will start in middle school developing their career plan, which will indicate some initial areas of interest, and that will continue to be addressed and examined and refined as they proceed through to the secondary level at the high school. So any student can participate in a work-based learning experience. Depending upon their age and background, it may differ in what the nature of the position is, but we offer students, even their freshman year, the opportunity to go out, maybe do some informal mentorship or job shadowing if they think they're interested in a particular career or field.
I would imagine the kids are usually probably all in to figure out what it is they want to do with their life when they get out of high school. But as a parent, I can imagine the parents aren't always 100% on board, because some of us have this preconceived notion that college is the only way to go. And even college is different now.
Correct. And it's been very exciting to see the variety of pathways that have opened up for our students. And in my conversation with parents, I always urge them to look at the end career goal and then find the best map to get there. For some, it is college and the traditional college sense that we know. For others, it is to gain an entry-level position and then work with that company to continue to increase your skills and credentials to advance in the company where you've started. So it is tough for people to leave their preconceived notions, but I often remind parents, I know folks who went directly into business and industry that now are advancing in their careers and making more monetarily than the traditional college graduate. So it's all about the real interest of the students, where they want to be, and what is the best step to help them reach their career goal.
So, Maddie, you were telling us in the first segment that you are currently working as an ER department technician at Winchester Medical Center. What did your parents say when you said, hey, I don't think that I necessarily want to go off to medical school per se right out of the gate? Were they supportive of your decision to do the work-based learning?
Yes, they actually pushed me to do it. Both of my parents are in the medical field, so they were like, get in there, get your foot in the door, get some experience.
So you kind of already knew then what you wanted to do, or at least one of the areas that you wanted to focus on. Did you start taking classes in middle school? I mean, how did you get to this point?
Actually, I never wanted to be in the medical field. I actually wanted to be a therapist for the longest time. So I started this journey my junior year of high school, and it's just kept going from there.
What made you decide to change course?
I got put into the CNA program that Clark County High School offers, and I wasn't going to stay in, but I decided to because I really liked my teacher, and some of my friends were in there. They provide clinical hours in there. We actually had to do 40 clinical hours of actually hands-on in a nursing home, and that just changed my whole life. I loved the hands-on. I loved being able to help them, and that's when I decided that's what I want to do.
Well, and I would imagine those 40 hours came in handy when you started applying for jobs, because everybody wants experience, and how much more experience can you get than 40 clinical hours already on the books?
Yeah, 100%.
Kathy, you mentioned earlier that sometimes kids figure out what they don't want to do. This is kind of the reverse with a twist on that situation where Maddie's concerned.
It is. And interestingly, one case that comes to mind is a local student whose father was an orthopedist. And, he thought from a very early age that he wanted to continue in the medical field in some way, shape, or form. And I think he even kind of had his idea narrowed down to the general field of orthopedics. So we worked on a placement for this young man. And when he got into that clinical setting, he very quickly realized that that was not his thing. He did not like blood. He did not like all of the components that are associated with it. So a great learning experience, because we want him to know that before parents invest in medical school or think we're going to pursue that path at the next step. So it's as much about learning what you enjoy doing as it is about what you don't enjoy so much.
Maddie, you said that you had graduated from Clark County High School in May. You are now employed by Winchester Medical Center, and you're going to Lord Fairfax part-time. What is your goal for the next 2 years? Where do you see yourself in 2 years or in 5 years?
I see myself as a nurse and working at Winchester Medical Center and working on getting my bachelor's in science and nursing.
Do you think going through some of these work-based learning experiences, do you think they really did help you kind of solidify what it is you wanted to do when you were done with high school?
Yes, 100%. Clark County High School actually does Co-op 1 and Co-op 2. So Co-op 1 was just the actual CNA certification, and then Co-op 2 is where you get to go and work at Winchester Medical Center as an employee. And I did that. Also didn't want to do that, but my dad was like, yes, you're going to do that. So I got into the ER department and I worked in the observation unit, and the nurses were great. They helped me. They taught me. They still do teach me. So it helped me so much. It made me have a whole different passion for it. And then it helps because they're passionate about it. So I love it.
And Maddie's very modest because she is the youngest student, correct, Maddie, that has ever had the opportunity to work in the ER department.
Wow.
Yes. And I still am the youngest one there, which can be very intimidating.
Well, it may be intimidating from you, but let me tell you, as one of the old fogies, sometimes it's intimidating to us when you kids come in and know more than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing that I'm learning about you, Maddie, is that there are 2 lessons that you have taken from all of this so far. First of all, listen to your parents, because in your particular case, they were dead on in both instances. And the other is that you really do have to try something and not just discount it because you don't think it's something you want to do. You learned, thankfully, that it really is something that you want to do just because you thought you'd give it a shot.
Yes. Yes. And I'm so glad I did give it a chance, because I just couldn't see myself without what I'm doing right now. I really couldn't. It's built me into the person I am today. It's changed my life completely. The co-op program that I am so grateful for the co-op program. I really am.
And Kathy, these kinds of success stories have to make it easier for you when you're talking to other students and to other parents about what is possible for their child after high school.
Right. And this is a dream come true for our students. I mean, here we have Maddie, who recently graduated, is already an employee of a local medical center, has her career goal firmly in place, and has outlined her next steps. And again, she's been through the whole transitional process in getting there, that in case something changes in the future, she's equipped with the skills to make the best decision to get her for her next career goal.
Cynthia, this has got to be probably one of the biggest, warm, fuzziest things that the chamber does, because you don't get much better than educating kids and turning them out into society as productive individuals.
It is just knowing that we have a small piece to play in forming the future of our community with a strong workforce. Yes, that's one of the great reasons that we have this committee and this incredible collaboration between the educators in our region, and to just help our young people succeed.
So Kathy, if somebody is listening today and they are a business owner or they're in HR of one of the large manufacturing companies or any number of different things, and they hear this and think, wow, I didn't know this existed. We want to be a part of this, or we want to play a role somehow. How do they reach out? Do they go through the chamber? Do they come to you at the school system? What is the best way for them to get more information about the work-based learning programs in all three school systems?
They can certainly do both. I would advise them to reach out to the chamber and talk to Cynthia, because she can then put them in contact with the CTE coordinator of their various school division, who can give them a better idea of what these experiences can look like and how they can become a partner.
Maddie, I'm looking forward to having another conversation with you, because I just started a podcast series in partnership with LFCC that's called LFCC Stories, and it will release tomorrow. And I'm talking to all of the students about their stories and what brought them to Lord Fairfax, some of the professors. So now I've put you on the list. So you're going to get to do a repeat conversation with me at some point.
All right. Sounds good.
But I wish you a lot of luck. And thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your story.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And Cynthia, anything going on chamber-wise that we need to know before we wrap up?
I want to make sure that all of our businesses are aware of the new laws put out by the governor through the Department of Labor and Industry. They go into effect tomorrow, where there are basically 9 steps to making sure that your business is compliant with the new DOLI laws for safety and health in regard to COVID-19. You can go to our website, regionalchamber.biz, and there'll be a slider that has some kind of digested information. It's a lot of information, but we've tried to kind of digest it down and make it palatable for our businesses to institute the guidelines that are requested by the state.
And I know you guys are still doing most of your events virtually, Business After Hours, the Lunch Bunch, the Marketing Mind Share. And I do want to say real quick that you guys have done a great job of finding some really cool topics.
Thank you.
Separate and apart from some of the regular things that you do for people to be able to learn and participate in.
We did today particularly, we had one called Reference USA. It's a resource tool that's free from the Handley Regional Library System. People in sales and marketing, or people who are looking for jobs, can use that resource and find a vast amount of data and information, and it's completely free. So they can reach out to the chamber if anybody's interested in more details about Reference USA through the Handley Library System.
And all that information is at regionalchamber.biz.
Correct. I think my work is done today. Whenever I can see business and community resources making a connection, that's our goal, to connect business and community resources for mutual success. And I think we've done that today by connecting you and Maddie particularly, and giving the Clark County School System opportunity to showcase the great work they're doing with their students, as well as our other school systems. These ladies all work together really cohesively and do an amazing job in our region to help our students grow and have great opportunities to enhance our workforce and our businesses.
I wish everyone could see our smiling faces.
And Kathy, I will tell you later this week, I am scheduled to record a conversation with Dr. Bishop that's going to air on Monday, talking about Clark County's reopening plan and all of that kind of thing. So I'm having a Clark County kind of week.
Great. We love it.
We'll be back tomorrow. It is Public Safety Thursday with Lieutenant Warren Gosnell from the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. We have already pre-recorded that show. We actually did it at the studio. So there's a little bit of fun banter back and forth at the beginning of the show. Meet me back here tomorrow, a few minutes after noon, and you'll get to hear all of it.